What if one night, a tiny door appeared in your backyard, and it had your name on it? In the quiet town of Willow Creek, there lived a dwarf boy named Eli Rowan. Eli was small in height, but his dreams were taller than the mountains beyond the town. People often laughed at him. Children whispered. Adults pitied him. But Eli never stopped looking at the stars. One cold autumn night, under a bright silver moon, Eli heard a strange tapping sound coming from the back of his grandmother's old house. Top, top, top. When he stepped into the backyard, he froze. There, built into the stone wall near the old oak tree, was a tiny wooden door. It hadn't been there before. The door was barely 3 feet tall, just big enough for someone like him. Carved into it were glowing words. "Only the brave may enter." Eli's heart pounded. He slowly reached for the brass handle. The moment he touched it, a whisper echoed around him. "Fear keeps you small, courage makes you limitless." The door creaked open. Inside was darkness, but far ahead, a soft blue light shimmered. Taking a deep breath, Eli stepped through. He found himself in a breathtaking world called Lumora, a glowing forest where trees sparkled like glass, and the sky shimmered with golden dust. The air felt alive. Suddenly, a tall figure appeared, a guardian cloaked in silver light. "I am Orin, keeper of the door," the figure said calmly.
Eli Svallovet.
"Why am I here?" Orin waved his hand, and a floating mirror appeared before them. In the mirror, Eli saw 2 futures. In the first, he stood silent while others laughed at him. In the second, he stood confident, speaking boldly, chasing his dreams, while others listened with respect. "This door does not lead to magic," Orin said. "It reveals what already exists inside you." Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. Dark shadows moved between the glowing trees. "You must choose," Orin said firmly. "Step back into fear, and the door will vanish forever. Or step forward in courage, and no door will ever be closed to you again." The shadows grew closer. Eli closed his eyes. All his life he had felt small, but in that moment he made a choice. "I am not small," he said. "I am brave." The shadows shattered like glass. The forest exploded into light. And then, Eli was back in his backyard. The tiny door was gone, but something inside him had changed. The next day in Willow Creek, when people began to whisper, Eli didn't lower his head. He smiled. For the first time, he didn't stay silent. When a boy tried to laugh at him, Eli calmly replied, "Height can be small, but dreams are not." The laughter faded. That day, Eli spoke about his dream. He wanted to become an explorer, to travel beyond the mountains, to write his own story instead of letting others define it. Some people still laughed, but others noticed something different in his eyes, a spark that had never been there before. And slowly, whispers began to turn into respect. Because when someone truly believes in themselves, the world eventually has no choice but to believe too. That night, Eli returned to the stone wall in his backyard. The tiny door was gone, but this time he didn't need it, because the real magic door had never been in the wall. It had always been inside him, and now it was permanently open. The greatest doors in life don't open outward, they open within. The day you release fear is the day the world becomes too small for your dreams.